Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to another live stream here. I don't know, just a bit of an on-the-fly moment here, so give me a second. We have kind of a rough start because I just need to share this, because boy, oh boy, did I not have time to properly. But let me go ahead and get pop a Discord server and get good to go. Where's the why isn't there a share button? Here we go. StreamYard I still have problems with. But you should be able to hear me. Let me know if you can. Let me know if you can. Let me know if you can. Hello back to you. Man, great time for the Wi-Fi to start being weird on me. Love that. Love that. It's my birthday day. Nothing better than a Daniel stream to well, congratulations, Sam. Happy birthday. I hope it's going pretty well for you. So if you guys aren't aware, if you're not aware, Time Magazine put out what I would call a controversial list, a very controversial list. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's bad. I would say it's extremely specific for what they're going for. It's made by a panel of people, from what I'm reading here. I'm going to go over that. Let me get this just on Twitter. We should be good to go. Tweet. All right. So, can everyone hear me okay? Can everyone see me okay? Are we all good? Are we all good to go? All right. Goblins and ghouls. How's it going? Goblins and ghouls. Let's go ahead and jump into this because boy, do I have thoughts here. It's not okay. So let's just go ahead and read the intro together, and then we'll talk about this because it's specific. It's very, very specific. Hello, everybody. Hello, Ryan Ratchford. Saw you in there. Hi from Germany. Hello, Germany. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let's go ahead and start talking about this list because this is going to be something a lot of people have thoughts on. So starting with the intro, the 100 best fantasy books of all time. This is not series, so you're not going to see a whole series lumped together. With a panel of leading fantasy authors, N.K. Jemisin, Neil Gaiman, Sabaa Tahir, Tomi, you get the point. George R. R. Martin, Marlon James, just some of the best people currently in the industry. Times presents the most engaging, inventive, and influential works of fantasy fiction in chronological order, beginning in the 9th century. So they went back. They went far back for this, and that's okay. I like that they're willing to go all the way into the classics. Up here is just a bottle of alcohol, and I hope you don't mind that. I'm not currently home, if you can't tell, so I'm doing this on the fly. But let's go ahead and start talking about this. So, okay, so it's going to be in chronological order. So we're going to start with a ton of classics and going from there. This is also an extremely diverse set of fantasy works, so you're going to notice that as well. But getting into this, we have Arabian Nights, Le Morte d'Arthur, Alice's Adventures in Wonderlands, I should say. Sorry, Lewis Carroll. Through the Looking Glass, Five Children and It, Ozma of Oz. Like, these are a ton of classics, some of which I've read, some of which I've not. And when stuff is this old and still remembered, I don't feel comfortable even like contending it being on the list because it's just like, yeah, this has stood the test of time. Who am I to say no? You know what I mean? Like, all right, sure. Mary Poppins, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Kira was surprised. We're already at Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. If you're going to be including things like Alice's, Adventures in Wonderland, where's Brothers Grimm? I don't see Brothers Grimm on here. But hey, that's okay. I'll accept that. And there's also some things already there that, there's some things where it's like, okay, that's not fantasy. Wasn't really a. Are you going to be that mad? I don't know. I'm not sure, but I'll just accept it and move on. How about that? And then we're going to get into The Voyage of the Dawn Trader by C.S. again, and then The Fellowship of the Ring. So we're in this. Now we're in modern fantasy. I expected more clicks than just, let's see, 9, 10 before Lord of the Rings. I expected more before that. But hey, that's okay. That's fine. My Life in the Bush of Ghosts, Two Towers, Return of the King. Okay, I'm again confused. But let's just move on. A Hero Born by Jin Young. The Once and Future King by T.H. White. Like no one's gonna be mad that's on there, right? There's going to be people who are like, Lord of the Rings should be one entry, but it wasn't published that way. And yes, all 3 books should be on here. So let's just leave it. I'm lagging quite a bit. Is it lagging for everyone else? It's fine now. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm not on my own Wi-Fi, everybody. So sorry about that. It's just going to be a little bit laggy, possibly. No lagging here. All right, cool. James and the Giant Peach, The Phantom Toll Booth. All right. A Wrinkle in Time, The Wandering Unicorn, Dragonflight. I'm not mad about the inclusion of those. The Last Unicorn, absolutely. Wizard of Earthsea, absolutely. The Crystal Cave, sure. The Tomb of a Town, all right. Watership Down. The Dark is Rising, all right. There's more and more stuff here where it's just like, is that phenomenal? Is that the best to be? I just don't know. I'm just not sure. But so this is one of my issues with panel lists. When you get a panel of people together, in my experience, what you end up having is a lot of people who have like their favorites that aren't necessarily widely considered bests. And each one of them wants to really advocate for their favorites from this specific era. And so they end up pushing out stuff that if you did like a mass vote, like if you just put this to a huge group of people, would be included. You end up with a more specific, like, oh, these authors they were with, they are just putting in the things they really, really love. And it's not necessarily like a mass consensus. And that's why I wouldn't have titled this the 100 best fantasy books of all time. I would have titled this like 100 fantasy favorites or something like that. But hey, that doesn't get as many clicks. And I'm certainly changing my titles to get more clicks. So I'm okay with that so far. But we're going to get much more controversial as as we go forward. The Princess Bride, I'm not mad about that at all. Tuck Everlasting, A Swiftly Tilting Planet, The Bloody Chamber, The BFG, Alana the First Adventure. All right, Howl's Moving Castle. I actually haven't read that. I've only seen the book. Is it as good as well? No Wheel of Time yet because this is in chronological order, and the Wheel of Time isn't. It's the person who said that, Jessica, because it says it's not going to be out for a while. But you can see it at the bottom here. Redwall. I'm very happy Redwall's included. I love Redwall seriously. Swords Point. All right. The Lives of Christopher Chant. Sweet. Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. Let's just go ahead and get something out of the way here. For many of the series that are to come, they include multiple of the entries. Like you're going to see of certain books coming in, series coming in here. This is the only Wheel of Time book, and it's strange to go with Eye of the World because no one thinks the world is the best Wheel of Time book, do they? Like I know more people who would advocate Knife of Dream, Chaos, Memory of, but they first. I'm not that, but it's what I personally would have done. Pratchett, Neil Gaiman. I love the inclusion of that. Outland Ghana. Very happy with a lot of stuff here. Golden. I had a triple take, and I still no. This is not right. Golden Compass came out before a lot of these. This is wrong. This is flat out wrong. This is not true. I don't know why it's there. Neverwhere by Neil Gaiman, Ella Enchanted, Subtle Knife, Brown Girl in the Ring, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Okay, we're lagging again. We're lagging. All right, let me see if I can get to it from be lagging. Luckily, we're on a laptop, so we can move. I'm at my dad's place, and I just need a guitar, so that was painful in a way. It's back? Great. All right, so we're not... All right, let's try and get this going again. Might be a bit better here. Okay, so we're going on to Harry Potter. I've only included one. All right, now it's fine. Great. We've only included one Harry Potter book, and it's Prisoner of Azkaban. I guess that's a fan favorite, sure. Spinal's End, Storm of Swords, American Gods. Okay, now is going to ramp up in controversy quite a bit here. Because Storm of Swords, without any of the previous A Song of Ice and Fire books, that's okay. American Gods, a lot of people, it's funny, that's a really big, hotly contested pick. That's a really hotly contested pick, American Gods, for sure. And then The We Free Men is the only standalone Terry Pratchett book. That's, wow. I'm very confused by the inclusion of that. That's just flat out. Really? Really? We're just going with, oh, there's another Harry Potter book, but just not including any of the earlier Harry Potter books I find confusing. And We Free Men by Terry Pratchett, I wouldn't have chosen that one. And I'm just, what? Mistborn, great. Name of the Wind, City of Glass, Where the Mountain Meets the Moon, The 100,000 Kingdoms, Who Fears Death, Akita Witch, The Night Circus, Song of Achilles, Angel Fall, The Stranger of Valandria, The Bone Clocks, The Buried Giant, The Ember of Ashes, The Fifth Season, Get in Trouble, The Grace of Kings, Shadow Shaper, Six of Crows. Six of Crows, I'm just going to say I highly, 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 highly disagree. I have a complete disagreement, and I'm The Wraith and the Dawn, All the Birds in the Sky, The Torch Against the Night, The Wall of Storms, Beast Made of Night, The Black Tides of Heaven, The Changeling, Jade City, The Stone Sky. Jade City and Stone Sky being there, I'm very good with. The Black Tides of Heaven I've started, and I can see an argument for already. Aru Shah and the End of Time, Black on the Roja, Children of Blood and Bone. I couldn't get into that, but okay. I'm amazed to see Kirka on here. I thought that was much more. I thought that was, yeah, City of Glass. I'm also just like, I don't understand. And I really, or Cersei, however it's said, I just thought that was much more contested. Empire of Sand, Poppy War, Song of Blood and Stone, Trail of Lightning, Witchmark, Black Leopard, Red Wolf, Children of Virtue and Vengeance, The Dragon Republic, Gods of Jade and Shadow, Queen of Concord, Rage of Dragons, We Will Hunt the Flame, Ella Stone, and Woven in Moonlight. If you are making a list of the greatest fantasy books of all time, and even if you want to do a chronological thing where you're moving forward in time, I don't think a lot of those were good picks. We have incredible no removals. There's not Anderson, there's not any Abercrombie, there's not any Sanderson, which, okay, I understand if you're trying to reflect where fantasies are currently going, which is a much more diverse and, pulling from all kinds of way to go, great. But excluding those just feels almost like brutal. And I don't see any Discworld outside of We Free Men, which is just, yeah. And there's no Witcher, which I think most people would make a very strong case for Witcher. So that's why, like, if you're going to do a 100 best fantasy books of all time, and yeah, no Way of Kings, which is just okay. There is Mistborn, though. That's a good point. But if you're going to do a 100 best of all time, why then add something that makes it more difficult? Where, yeah, no Malazan, as I said, no Erickson, and no Lies of Lockelmore. It's, yeah. Why then add a difficult layer where you're trying to progress through time so that you end up with stuff where you're trying to say, like, things that have come out in the last couple of years that have been kind of debatably reviewed well are in the same list as Lord of the Rings, and and you're excluding things like, did we see De Morte Artur on there? I don't think we did. It's no Robin is another one I'm kind of upset about. Why isn't there Robin Hobb on here? Robin Hobb's one of the most important voices of fantasy the last few decades. No Gormgast. You know what? I'm just going to put this out there. I think it should be included. No Stephen King. Stephen King has been an extraordinary unorthodox fantasy author, and he's just completely excluded. And snubbing Terry Pratchett, I'm also just like, why? But here's the thing: if we're going to do this thing where you're trying to reflect the progressive way fantasy's going, I'm 100% down for that. But just titling it the 100 best fantasy books is misleading. I think this is a very good list if you retitle it. If you simply retitle this, hey, this is the 100 best fantasy books according to these extraordinary authors, then you have a pretty good, interesting list here. That's what I'll say. That's what I believe to be the case. I'm very disappointed in general, though, with Time magazine, one of the most respected publications in existence, coming out with something that is going to get eyes. Like, this is going to get a lot of people's attention who are not familiar with the genre, who are going to come in and say, hey, what is this? Let's look into it. And putting something together that is just not reflective of the headline, in my opinion. Yeah, the evolution of fantasy, the greatest, reflecting the evolution of fantasy would be another good pick. A lot of people are saying Dune. That's sci fantasy, and there was not a ton of sci fantasy on here, so I just don't think they're going to put Dune on for that reason. But yeah, it's really strange for me to see this so quickly just not be even debatably the 100 best fantasy books of all time. Don't get me wrong, there are many of the greatest currently written books and series on here, if you want to say for modern fantasy. The fact that we have Dragon War books actually makes me pretty happy. I think both of those deserve love and eyes right now. And, you know, all the stuff they chose of the modern stuff, I'm very pro advocating for, that of which I've read. Jade City as well is just an absolute masterpiece, and I think needs to get attention. I see some people advocating for stuff now that's just like, no, I'm sorry, Percy Jackson should not be on a list of 100 best fantasy books. And it's strange to me to include like multiple Harry Potter books and complete snub the likes of Erickson. I just don't understand that. And Abercrombie, people who have, you know, in terms of hardcore fantasy, done way more. It's weird. It's really weird. So I don't know. I have a lot of love for this in this way because giving attention to like Rage of Dragon. It's also going to be giving a lot of attention to books like Gods of Jade and Shadow, Dragon Republic, Black Leopard, Red Wolf. You know, all these books that I do want to find bigger audiences that I think are from extraordinary authors. I mean, N.K. Jemisin still needs to be more respected and more read, and the fact that she's not, you know, that's cool. That's cool. I don't know. I'm a little bit confused by this. But what I heard could be an interesting way to go from here is we can then do some polling. You guys in the mood for polling? I think we could do interesting polling to figure out the impressions of the audience. Because we have over 1,000 people here right now. I think 1,000 people together can give a pretty solid review of this to Time Magazine for them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together some quick polls. We're going to do some quick polling, and I think this will be an interesting way to go. Oh, I put in polls on my computer, and immediately it's like, you want to go in the election polls? Is that what you want to talk about? You want to go in the election polls? All right, let's get this moving. Strawpoll.me is what I use. No, it's not. That is not what I use. I just clicked the wrong websites. I use strawpoll.com. There we go. Do I? I don't know. This looks different. Whatever. How was this time's list? I want to know. Am I in the minority here? I'll do great, good, just titled, wrong, just wrong, horrible, some strong personal choices. Okay. Go with that. Those are some good options here. I'm going to create this poll. I'm going to share it to you guys now. Copy the link, and let's just get going. Oh, thank you for the super chats. I'm sorry I missed those. Let's go ahead and throw these on screen. Let's see. When was the last major publication paired a headline with correct lists last? Yeah, okay. That's a good point. These lists are often pretty horrible, but I've been really impressed by some of these in the past, especially from smaller websites that are clearly run by people who are like really into fantasy, because at least they'll go all the way to just being like, here is my favorite list of all time, and they'll title it that way. So it's very interesting to go that route. I think Harry Potter should be on here as a representation for children's fantasy. It was hugely influential, but surprising there's no Abercrombie. I agree. I just would have put one Harry Potter and then just let it be. That would have been my case. All right, I'm putting the poll in the chat here. Go ahead and give that a click. Go vote, go vote, go vote, and go vote in your local elections, but also just go vote on this. Yeah, I find it, especially completely admitting authors who have done seminal series. I mean, it's strange to me, but hey, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I need to vote in this poll right now. I'm going to put just the wrong title. Just title. Oh, I put just titles wrong, but whatever. I came up with this in a second. Show result. Most people are agreeing with me. And then we have, I'll share the screen. Why am I not sharing the screen here? Let's get that going. Let's get that going so I can just share the screen. How do I stop sharing? Share screen, application windows, bam. Let's look at these. Let's look at these together. Let's go. Let's go. So here, no, I don't care about claiming permanent admin rights for this list. Shut up. Let's refresh it now that more people have voted for a minute. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, okay, pretty solid. One person thought this was a great list, and I'm happy for you. I really am. Good. I'm glad you really love this. Some people thought it was good. Not too many more people thought it was horrible. And then we had some strong personal choices. Some people saying just wrong, and just titled wrong, which I can't believe I put just titles wrong, but we're moving past that. I largely agree with just titled wrong, because I think this is a useful list. I really do. Yeah, my dad, if you can notice, is quite the Tar Heel fan. If you notice this, I think this is a useful list if you title it differently. I think it's a very useful list, and it gives a lot of credit and love to series I would like to see it do more. I'd like to see get more attention, more adaptations, more things like that. It's just, yeah, it's kind of frustrating. Yeah, obviously a huge lack of Twilight on this list. Amanda, here's the thing. Here's what I will say. If we're doing influential, Twilight, whether people want to admit it or not, was tremendously influential to subgenres of fantasy. Maybe more so than any other individual series for that kind of subgenre of fantasy. You cannot deny that. With the number, it basically spawned off. The genre existed before Twilight, but it made that subgenre just affiliated with an age group. You know what I mean? Like, it just cemented this, which I find to be interesting. The main problem is with the list is that it lacks focus on age groups. So you have children's books with Tolkien and Martin. I disagree. I think it's absolutely okay to have some children's book alongside that, because the children's book can be just as huge. I mean, I would say The Last Unicorn should belong in every same list as A Song of Ice and Fire. Just name it Fantasy Through Time. Yeah, but you see, times wants those clicks, man, and that's not going to get those clicks. Yeah, influential it has to be on there. Best, absolutely not. Twilight changed the scope of young adult fiction. It absolutely did. It absolutely did. Hunger Games did the same. I would not be mad seeing Hunger Games on a list of most influential dystopian books, for sure. Not fantasy, but dystopian for sure. I feel like having the panelists add some of their own works is a little self-gratifying. I wasn't going to bring that up. I wasn't, because I don't know if they made it their own, or if, N.K. Jemisin's on the panel and maybe someone else in the panel said N.K. Jemisin's work has to be on there, and that's not in her control. So it could have been along those lines. So I disagree with this in the sense that we don't know that author put their own work on there. Well, The Hobbit is kind of for young people too. Yeah, The Hobbit is. Wait, was The Hobbit not on? The Hobbit wasn't. They did all of Lord of the Rings, so I think not putting Hobbit is okay. The Hobbit is definitely child. Yeah, it is. It is. Long-term influences superior to short-term for books like Hunger Games. Well, we don't know, right? Because the influence of Hunger Games is still being tested. That's why I'm always kind of cautious whenever I see these. Because it's like, okay, you're including recent entries for a greatest of all time list, and that's always just kind of, That's why whenever I do my end of the year, my favorite top 10 list, I make it very clear in the video, this is my favorite top 10 list. Don't think of it any other way. Go Duke. Well, my dad would probably disagree. For those of you who've been asking, he's recovering from surgery extraordinarily well. Modern medical science is absolutely a miracle in a lot of ways, because scientists are some of the most badass people on the planet who just do extraordinary stuff. Within 5 hours of having his surgery, he was walking with a new knee. That's unbelievable. And he's walking around today barely using his walker. Oh my God. Oh my God. I saw one comment I really agreed with, but thank you very much. I appreciate the dono, Sean. Really, really appreciate it. Yeah. Some authors had more than one book on the list. They should have only put one book or the best in the series. I disagree because we've seen series that had multiple entries that were extraordinarily influential. And some of them are so, even though they're a series, they're viewed as one complete work. And, it just becomes kind of, I don't know. I don't like that limit, but I can definitely see the, let's see, M.K. Jemison appeared the same amount of times as Tolkien. And her work, though, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that. I'm really mad about the no Robin Hobb. That's actually really, really bothering me. Robin Hobb, come on. Robin Hobb is absolutely a master worker of that list. I don't know. I think she should be there. Greetings from Finland. Do you think only listening to audiobooks is cheating? Stuff? No, I have a whole video on this. If you put in Daniel Greene audiobooks, it should come right up. I absolutely don't think so. Let's see. They had a great opportunity. They simply did not present what they said they were giving, and having the wrong title is actively damaging, and lapses in organization and selection make it just bad. I agree. If you just change the title, No Stormlight is kind of heartbreaking. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I can't believe City of Glass made the list. I'm not going to speak on City of Glass. I'll bring up the list again because I see some people who have just got here who are kind of confused what's going on. I will bring up the list real quick for people. When I originally Googled this, I put in Time's Best Fantasat list, and so now every time I look it up, it just appears as that again. All right, let's get back into this here. Where is StreamYard? Here is StreamYard. I thought I accidentally closed out of it for a second, and my heart just like dropped. I was like, no. All right, here's the list again. Well, let's go through it. Let's go through it with the mind. Let's go through this list with the mindset of what's the title we agreed on? Oh, and no Tad Williams, another snub. Let's go through this with the mindset of titling this the best timeline of the evolution of fantasy, because I think that's a more accurate list because they're doing that. They're doing that. So I'm gonna go through this list with that in mind. And in that case, okay, they did do Le Morte d'Arthur. That's fine. That's good. In that case, suddenly this becomes a lot more accurate to me. And I do want to reemphasize that they are saying these are these specific authors' favorites. These are those authors' favorites. So I cannot say that they're wrong because it's for them. That being said, though, it's just the wrong title. And I don't like lists that feel the need to shoehorn in a ton of modern ones that still haven't been proven. And there's now that I'm looking at this, yes, Arthurian legends are extraordinarily important, but I think I've seen 4 or 5 on here that are Arthurian, and I just don't know if that's necessary. I don't know. That's debatable. I also just don't like Watership Down. So now you're seeing my own preferences come in and be put on this list, right? Because I don't like some things that are heralded as classics and seen as these masterpieces, but they're just not for me. So I don't put them on mine. You know what I mean? That's kind of criticizing a list like this always has that blowback. And I want people to keep that in mind, where it's just, yeah, it might not be your interpretation and favorite, but everyone's allowed to have their own opinion. I also just disagree that if you're going to choose Wheel of Time, why that Wheel of Time? I don't think the first is the strongest. It's good, but it's not the best. I love Good Omens being on here, though. I don't know why. Tigana, great. Golden Compass, I'm happy is on here. And there's a really strong representation of Ursula K. Le Guin, which makes me extremely happy as well. And I'm sorry, I actually am happy with the amount of N.K. Jemison. Okay, We Free Men, not Mort. Not guards, we free men. I get it. That's going to be something that, a lot of people are okay with. Not me. Oh, I thought, people were saying do it. What are people wanting to say? I don't know what that's about. Also, no Raymond E. Feist. That's another good one. Yeah, no non-English representation. That's another problem. They didn't say Western fantasy. They just said fantasy. And I'm sorry, there's some Asian, but there's not a whole lot of Asian. And I love the amount of Wizard of Earthsea and Ursula K. Le Guin we see, because I just have such a soft spot for Ursula K. Le Guin. Name of the Wind. You see, I don't even like Name of the Winds, but I understand, appreciate, and accept it being on here. God, just one Terry Pratchett. Okay. The Okorafor's on here twice in a row. Good for her. N.K. Jimson again. Night Circus. I need to read Night Circus. Song of Achilles, cool. Angel Fall, cool. All right. Yeah, if I literally just retitled this list in my head, The Evolution of Fantasy, this is suddenly a great list. Like the best of the evolution of fantasy, this becomes a phenomenal list. In fact, it's like one that, of the books I've read, I would change out basically like very few. Having R.F. Kuang on here twice, good for her. That's badass, and she's great. So I'm happy to see that as well. Let's see. Oh, thank you so much for the note. Just wanted to help out the channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you, man. Simios at the First with a very royal-looking British sigil. Love it. Thank you so much. That means a lot. Really appreciate that. A lot of people saying no Jay Kristoff. Man, I don't like Jay Kristoff, so I'm okay with that. It seems, I'm going to be honest, we're going to do another poll here in a second of the biggest snub of the list. We're going to go into the biggest snub on the list. Someone's saying Dune again. There's very little sci fantasy, so I think that's the reason why. If you have to pick the most influential time books, The Eye of the World, then you need A Merry Night as the other one. Yeah, if you're going for most influential Wheel of Time book, actually, I would go book 4, because that's when you explore all the other, start really getting into all the other crazy cultures. And they're super established. I would go book 4, but that's me. All right, let's do another poll here. They're not doing a lot of sci fantasy. That's why I think there's not a lot of sci fantasy. I would include Memory Star Thorn, Gene Wolfe, another good one. The Hobbit's missing, but they did all of Lord of the Rings, so yeah. The Hell Dune should be here. I'm sorry if you're not going to be doing it. Whatever. I'm not going to get into that anymore. Firstly, yeah. Okay, let's get into a poll of the biggest snub. Let's go ahead and do that. Give me a second. Cool. Let's go ahead and get into this here. I'm going to do a new create poll title, biggest snub. I'm putting Hob on here first because that's just making me mad. Abercrombie. I'm just going to put Witcher because I don't even want to try and put the author's name. I'm sorry. Erickson. Let's get into further here. Give me ideas, guys. Give me some ideas here. What other ones do you see? Gimel, Butcher. Really? I think people are pushing for Butcher. I'll put Butcher on here, but I just don't. Yeah, I mean, God, if you're gonna do modern stuff, I'm probably gonna misspell a bunch of authors' names. Just let it go. I'll put King. Yeah, let's put King. Let's see here. I put Abercrombie. Pierce. Really? Okay. David Eddings. I'll put Eddings in there. Yeah, that's a good one. Fonda Lee. The Jade War was on there. Jade City was. So I don't think that counts as snub. Howard. Let's put Howard. That's good. Ed Williams. Yeah, Williams is another good pick. Interesting. See, I'm just fascinated by this list as a. Let's see, Brando. Oh yeah, Sanderson. Oh man. Let's see. I'm just surprised none of those authors picked him. Let's see, Paolini. All right, I'll put Paolini on there. I'll be very surprised if he shoots the top. But all right, Weeks. Sure. If people want to see Weeks, I will put Weeks. Let's see. I do love the representation of this list, though. I want to say Susanna Clark. I'll put Clark for sure. Clark. All right. Terry Pratchett. Well, he was on there. I'm not going to include anybody. Oh, Sanderson was on there. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and take that off. It's Lynch. I'll put Lynch on. All right. I think that's enough. We got Hob, Abercrombie. I should put Witcher because that guy's name. Erickson, Butcher, Gemmell, King, Eddings, Howard, Williams, Lynch, Paolini, Weeks, Clark. Any more? anymore. Let's see. Rothfuss was on there. Oh, Schwab. All right. I am currently reading and very much so loving The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Anne McCaffrey. I thought Anne McCaffrey was on there. Was she not? Was Anne McCaffrey not on there? No, she was. She was. Patrick Rothfuss was on there. Salvatore. I'll put Salvatore. I spelled his name wrong too, but I don't care. Rahab I got. She was. Okay, she was. Oh, Wong. Yeah, let's do it. I'll put her on. Because her book was incredible. Feist. Did I put Feist? I thought I put Feist. I did not. All right, we'll do Feist. E-I-S-T. Cool. I put King. Jones. I'll put Jones. Put Jones. And yeah, I'll go ahead. I'll create the poll now. That's been enough. Let's get this poll going and create poll. And I will share this with you guys. Copy link, and we'll get this going. Let's go ahead and get. Oh, Brothers Grimm. That's immediately something that should have been on there. I will say Brothers Grimm should have been there a million times over. A million times. Oh, yeah. There's a couple more people are putting through, like a Lawrence I should have seen. Sorry, guys. There's a lot of comments. I can't get to them all. It's just how it be. Don't worry. Hobbs on there. I don't think they went as far back as the Odyssey, did they? Who am I going to vote was the biggest snub? I'm going to say Hobb. The Hobb not being on there is just insulting to me. So I'm gonna jump over there in a second, and I will stop sharing this screen and I'll start sharing another screen, and we will go over these results. Where is the results? Oh, I need to separate it out because I don't have multiple monitors. I am doing this without multiple monitors, just going the best I can. So give me a second here. Yeah, there's a lot. I'm sorry, guys. I can't include every snub because this is going to be every author because everyone thinks everyone should be on here. Six of Crows was on the list, my dude. You just missed it. And that's one I disagree with. But hey, I'm happy to see it on in other ways. Let's go ahead and talk about these results. So it seems like a lot of people agree with me that Hobb is just an unacceptable. Oh, wow. Okay, this is close. We have no votes for Jones, no votes for Wong, Salvatore with 2, Weeks with 2, Gemmell 2, Williams 3, Clark 4, Eddings. Actually, let me share this a couple more times. All right, let's just share this a couple of times. So I want to make sure we get as many votes in here as we can. This is going to be an interesting one. Get this going. Let's see. My post on Time Magazine should also be posted later today. Well, good on you. Nice beard, bro. I hate my beard right now. All right, let's go. Let's refresh it now. How many people have voted right now? 369. Okay. Okay. So we have Gemmell, Weeks, Williams, Salvatore, Clark, Eddings, Feist, Howard, Butcher, Schwab, Paulini, Lynch, Eric. Okay. Yeah. If we're talking about influence, Paulini, there's more of a case to be made, and I will agree with that. Lynch, Erickson, King, and the top 3 of the Witcher author, Abercrombie and Hobb. And I think, Hobb is just upsetting to me. I'm not going to let that go. I'm going to make that a very annoying point. I'll put the link in a couple more times for people. I see a couple people saying they missed it. I understand. You want to get your vote in. You want to be heard. Just remember to also vote in your local elections. Let's see. Dark Tower is most definitely fantasy. Yeah, I don't know why people would even say Subkowski. See, I think this person even spelled it wrong. Because I know there's a 2. Isn't there? I don't know. Subkowski, whatever. Yeah. All right, I'm going to refresh this one last time, see if anything switches up. No, it's pretty much the same. So here's okay. I'm gonna end this on one final big monologue here. I'm just gonna say one final bit of monologue. Lists like these are useful because they spark really interesting conversations, and I'm always okay with that. And this one, I think this is purely a case of mislabeling because this is these authors' favorites throughout history. So really, this list is just moving through time with these authors and having them pick what they think is their favorites. And as you get up to like the last 10 years, that becomes extremely difficult because it's like, well, we don't know what's going to last. There's so many things that'll have flash in the pan success and go away. But even up until the recent picks, if this was just titled The Evolution of Fantasy, they killed it. I would say they did an amazing job. It's just a matter of getting there it was presented wrong. So yeah, I still like this list. And I think if they had made it clear that it was more moving through time, then it would have been better. And they said it was a representation of the evolution of fantasy, because man, it's a really good representation of the evolution of fantasy. Let me refresh this one last time because people are making comments. No, I'm pretty. This is not super surprising for me. If I was going to say the biggest snubs, this top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In fact, actually, no, I would bring Williams higher. I'd bring Williams higher. This is going to be my This is going to be my closing thoughts there. But let me know, guys, in the comments down below if you're watching this after fact, what you think of this. It's also pretty biased because of free promotion for authors. I don't want to say that. You don't know if they're the ones who put their own books on there or if other people did. That's all right. That's all right. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So that's going to end this one. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate the conversation, and I am going to be going to help my dad recover some more. Wish him the best recovery from his knee replacement surgery. And I will be I'll see you again on Tuesday with another fantasy news. So Robin Hobb. Someone just said, who is Hobb? And I think that's the perfect note to end this on, because we have to remember that everyone has had a different experience than everyone else with fantasy. And that's okay. That's all right. We can all have this conversation. And I hope you guys are having an absolutely beautiful week. I got no Daniel Greene. You're right. We appreciate you. I'll thank you. All right, guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And I love you. And I will